In this Blender video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use a 3D model that you've previously made and turn it into an animation of the 3D model being constructed. For this video, I'll be using Blender version 2.83. I'm going to use this 3D model of a stereo plug adapter that I made in a previous video. This particular 3D model is made with only a single object. So to animate its construction, select it, switch to the Modifier tab, and add a Build Modifier. This modifier is going to do the work for us. This is the frame number where the building will start, and this is the number of frames that will be used to complete the build process. I'm going to keep all of the default values. I want the whole animation to be 120 frames long, and so I'll set the end value to 120. Now when I press the play button, you can see the 3D model being constructed. The construction started at frame 1 and continues for 100 frames. This is what the rendered animation looks like. If you don't know how to render an animation, then you can watch my video on that topic. I'll put a link to it in the video description. Now I'll show you another example where the 3D model is made up of multiple objects. This vintage microphone is made up of 11 objects. Since it's made from multiple objects, we can either build all of the objects simultaneously, or we can build each object one at a time. I'll show you both methods, and I'll start with building all of the objects simultaneously. To do this, I'll select one of the objects and add a Build Modifier. I'm going to keep the default values. Then I'll repeat this for the remainder of the objects. I'll pause the video until it's done. I finished adding the Build Modifier to all 11 objects. All of the Build Modifiers start at frame 1 and last for 100 frames. I'm going to make the whole animation last for 120 frames by changing the end value to 120. Here is the rendered animation. To build each object one at a time, we just need to change the start and length values of the Build Modifiers. For the first object, I'll keep the start value set to 1 and change the length to 10. I'm going to set the length to 10 for all 11 objects, which will make the total build last for 110 frames. For the second object, I'll change the start value to 10, and as I just mentioned, I'll set the length to 10. For the remainder of the objects, I'll increase the start value by 10 for each object. So for the third object, I'll set the start value to 20, and again I'll set the length to 10. For the next object, I'll set the start value to 30 and the length to 10. I'll pause the video until I've modified all 11 objects. I've just finished modifying the objects, and here is the rendered animation. Well, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and leave a comment.